Wow.
Hello, Council Member Overholzer. Can we test your mic, please, sir?
Did you see my email
Check. Do you guys hear me?
under business?
Let's
Wherever.
Is it under business?
testing. Eric Overholzer.
I don't think there's anything there. Probably council.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Liz? Can you hear me?
Copy that, sir. Thank you very much.
You bet.
The rest of the
The kid shows up, I need a ride home. I was like, I don't have time for that. So I'm. My mic is. Great.
Good evening. It's 7 o'clock. It's December 1st, 2025, and I'm calling this regular meeting of the Battleground City Council to order. If you're able, please rise for the pledge. And Ms. Halili, roll, please.
Mayor McCoy,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Bowman,
Here.
Councilmember Kuipers,
Here.
Councilmember Ferrer,
Present.
Councilmember DeRozier,
Here.
Councilmember Davis.
Here.
And Councilmember Overholzer.
Here.
We couldn't really hear you, sir. Could you
It's
speak?
only coming through, it's coming through the pad. I heard him. I heard you, Eric. Yeah.
Try that again.
I am present.
And the
Yay.
clerk is present. That concludes the roll.
Before we roll into agenda approval, for those that aren't aware, Councilmember Kuipers has an oath of office because she is filling a short term. So we're going to swear her in now. And then she gets to do it again in January.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Jeannie Kuipers,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I am a citizen of the United States
that I'm a citizen of the United States
and of the state of Washington,
and of the state of Washington,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the state of Washington,
of the state of Washington,
and will, to the best of my judgment,
and will, to the best of my judgment,
faithfully and impartially,
faithfully and impartially,
perform all duties of council member
perform all duties a council member
for the city of
for the
Battleground,
city of Battleground,
County of Clark,
County of Clark,
and state of Washington,
state of Washington,
as such duties
as such duties
are prescribed by law.
are prescribed by law.
It's a lot.
Warren, you not to do it.
Your chair.
When we have an appointment, the election is for the short and full term. So for those political nerds out there, you can win at trivia. That brings us to agenda approval. Council, I would entertain a motion with the agenda with an amendment to remove the Certificate of Municipal Leadership Award portion as Councilmember Overholzer is remote and we want him in person for that honor. So if I could have that motion, please.
I move to remove Eric Overholzer's presentation from AWC from the meeting agenda.
And approve the balance.
Yes, sorry, approve the rest of the agenda as presented.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Do we have any council member reports this evening? Okay, seeing none, I'll move on to mayor's report. So tonight's my pleasure to recognize our outgoing council members. We have 2 of them. I'm not one for long speeches, but don't let my lack of words reflect on their contributions. I'm just going to say a few words and then I'll open it up to council and to the public if you want to say anything. So first, Ms. Davis, I want to thank. You probably don't realize it, but you taught me something pretty profound. And that was, we need to model good behavior up here. So thank you for that. Especially as we see public officials, elected or not, under attack. If we want to be treated in a good manner, we should show it. So thank you for that. Cherish leads with her compassion. So she's definitely somebody to emulate. One of her driving projects is the inclusive park. And I'm hopeful that next year we'll see that come to fruition. So I think that's well on its way. And between the 2 of them and 2 others, I believe they formed the first majority women block on council.
Wow.
So more trivia. Truly, I thank you both. This is not an easy gig. And you both did it with grace and style. With that, if anybody would like to say any words, family, council, please.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to say something. I thought I was going to exit left and go, and then I saw this on here and I thought, oh boy, okay, here we go. I do want to say that I am grateful for the opportunity to serve not only the community, but 6 other teammates. As the mayor said, it is not an easy gig. And so we lean on each other's expertise to help us make the best decisions for the city. I am thankful for our staff. What an outstanding group that Battleground has. And some people might not know it, but they are rock solid and they help us and they guide us and they instruct us. And it's truly a team effort. And so I want to thank all of you for that too. I'm appreciative of the community. I'm appreciative of my family. My kids start out thinking it was kind of funny, and then I think maybe they thought it was a little cool. I don't know. I'll take the cool part. I'm excited to see the future of Battleground from that side. I'm excited for the new council to come and to continue the progress of an amazing, amazing city. From everyone who sat up here before us and everyone who will sit here after me, I will cheer them on. And somewhat jealous, somewhat relieved, but I won't be able to stay away. That's why I came up here in the first place, is because of my love for this city. So I appreciate the 4 years. I appreciate all of you, and good luck. Thank you.
Jump in, council.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to reiterate my appreciation to Cherish and to Trish, both of you. Since I've been on council for such a short amount of time, less than a year, I just was, it was like, as they say, drinking out of a hose, but it was more like a tsunami at times. And I appreciate the partnership that we were able to have in helping me learn and guidance. And I did learn, we might not always have the same views on things, but that's what it's all about here. But to be able to respect each other meant a lot. And so thank you for how you treated me. And I wish I know we're going to be great going forward, but I will miss having both of you as partners.
Do you want to speak or do you want to wait? Or you can have Shane go.
Go ahead, Shane.
Yeah, I just want to echo what the other council members have said. I appreciate the fact that you guys have been willing to voice your opinions, that you've stepped up to, number one, put your name in the hat and run for this, and to be able to bring your perspective to council. I think it's important that we have different perspectives, and we all represent 23,000 people, but each one of us come from a different background. And I think that's very valuable as we go through this. And as we try and do what's best for the city, I think you both have done a phenomenal job doing that. I think you've represented your community well. I hope you stay involved. There's always, as you know, there's always positions that we need people to fill. and you're always looking for those people that have been there before, because we just don't get a lot of people stepping up and volunteering to do this. And especially in a time where every single thing that we do is under a microscope, and you know, the votes that we take, you know, 50% of the people may hate them, 50% of the people may like them, or 49-51, whatever. But it's tough to take those arrows that are shot at us, and you guys have done that well. So I appreciate it, and I hope you the best.
Councilmember Overholzer?
Yeah, I hope you guys can hear me okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, to both you ladies, Trisha and Cherish, I have learned a great deal while being on council from both of you. You both inspire me in different ways. I have a great deal of appreciation for both of you. Cherish, we've connected over our love for the community and the less fortunate. And I just admire your willingness to get out there and serve people and help people that need it, and your heart for those people. And I hope that we get to continue working together in the future outside of council. And Trisha, your involvement in the community, I've seen over the many years that we've known each other, but you were a great inspiration to me to even stick my neck out and run for council. And I just greatly appreciate our conversations we've had, the information and the guidance that you've been able to give over the last few years to me. And I hope that, and I pray that we're able to continue a relationship after this as well. And you can continue to be somebody that I can lean on for to bounce things off of. Both of you ladies are a great inspiration, and I'm very grateful and blessed to have known both of you. So thank you for your service to this community. Greatly appreciated.
You want to say anything, or do you want, we have the words too, so. Go ahead. I have something to give you, but
Oh.
if you want to speak, go ahead.
I was fine until my family showed up, and then it made it real. So it's been a real pleasure to serve the city and the citizens. I've learned a lot over the years about the city, about myself, how to get along with people, how to be a good steward of our tax dollars, everything that comes along with it. And it has been a true pleasure, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. So I plan to stay in Battering. I don't know what I'm going to do, but hopefully something fun. So thank you.
So, sorry, go ahead, Councilmember.
I'll just make it really brief. So I just want to thank you both again for your service. Trisha, I appreciate your professionalism You always stood up for what you believed was the best for the city, and I greatly appreciated that. You could tell that you both had a lot of love for the community. That's why you served it, right? Thank you for, you always picked up the phone for me, and I'm always appreciative of that. And you always just lend me your ear with my concerns that I just needed to have addressed. So thank you for the knowledge that you gave me along the way, and I learned some great things from you too. So I appreciate you both. I hope you guys, it's interesting to see what you guys are going to do next for our community. And thanks again.
So we have a couple little presentations here, and now that I know that Tricia convinced Eric to run for council, I'm still going to give it. Just kidding. So this one is for Councilmember Davis, and the pertinent information on here is with heartfelt appreciation for her dedicated service of the member of the Battle Ground City Council, October 21 through December 25. And they both have the same on it as far as your leadership, your commitment, your steady guidance have helped shape the policies, programs, and vision that have moved our community toward a brighter, stronger future. We thank her for her years of service and genuine care for the community. She has undoubtedly left many positive and lasting impacts on the city of Battle Ground, presented on this first day of December by Mayor Troy McCoy. And we additionally have something a little more meaningful as well that I think will speak more to you. And then cherishes with heartfelt appreciation for her dedicated service as a member of the Battle Ground City Council, July 2016 to December 2025. So she has undoubtedly left many positive and lasting impacts on the city of Battle Ground, presented on this first day of December 2025 by Mayor Troy McCoy. Yeah. And then the city manager has something for each of you as well.
Councilmember Davis, would you like to come down here? First, let me just say it's been an honor serving with you. You've been such a joy to work with. Now, maybe some of you don't know that Tricia is snowbirding, I'm not really sure what you call it, at a house down in the Valley of the Sun in Phoenix area. And she and I often talk about it. I'm jealous. She has a pool. And I thought as a parting gift that we would perhaps provide you with a sign for your pool area that says, "Welcome to the Davis Oasis. Have fun, but obey our pool rules." So we wanted to sort of mimic maybe the Battle Ground Municipal Code. And rule number one is no meetings and no agendas, no minutes. Sunshine counts as professional development. Swim at your leisure. Number two, all decisions made by majority float. The only motions allowed will be for cannonballs and or drink refills. And budget focus, sunscreen and snacks. The biggest approved expenditure will be for quality free time. TD code P510-2021 to 12-2025, your dates of service. Thank you. Full rules. All right, Councilmember DeRosiers. Why don't you come up here? Now, people probably know this about Cherish, but she is all things fruit trees, planting, garden, you name it. And so we wanted to provide her with this shovel that's engraved that says Cherish DeRosiers, Battle Ground City Council, 2016 to 2025. With the little symbol of Benny the Bee for all of your gardening. One of the things I loved talking with Cherish about was my adventures walking around the city and foraging every piece of fruit I could get my hands on without trespassing. So she was a mentor for me on that. And I look forward to still coming to your property and trying out that homemade ladder that your husband made and picking those apples still. So congratulations, and I wish you the best.
Yeah, if anybody had a few quick words, that's fine.
I just wanted to say, Tricia and Cherish, thank you so much for serving for all your time, all the committees you've served on, hearing you in the meetings on discussions and stuff, helped keep me informed and, learn about things I didn't know or think about perspectives from a different side. And Cherish, I just want to say, like a lot of people in the community, your compassion, that you always reached back out or often reach back out to other people was just so meaningful to so many people. Thank you.
To both of you ladies, thank you for your service. I can say, been there, done that. I really appreciate the time and effort that it takes to be a council member and to think of every facet of the city as you go on. In the future, do well, all right? I was thinking of a poem that I wanted to say and it slipped my mind. That's what happens when you get old, but enjoy your future, be part of the solution. Thank you.
I am Cherish's brother. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to my sister and to Tricia and all you guys who have served on city council here. But I just, there are so many times over these 9 years where I've talked with my sister and, she's just felt so supported by the city, by the staff here, and the people that she's worked with. Even when there were differences, she's always, spoken highly of everyone. And just I'm really proud of her and really excited. And I'm very grateful for the example that she set for her nephews and her nieces and for the rest of the family. And looking forward to seeing, where she goes next. So thank you so much.
I'll keep it short like Mr. Mayor. Very grateful for both of you and your service to the city. It's been an honor. And I look forward to where you guys will land next and how you get plugged in, because I know this won't be the end. Thank you very much for your service. Really appreciate it.
Both of you ladies have been absolutely phenomenal people and phenomenal leaders. I just wanted to say that I have had a chance to get to know both of you, and both of you have been so compassionate, so kind, and have such a heart for this community. And I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate your strength. And I appreciate your courage and the kindness and professionalism that you've continued to show. So I just wanted to tell both of you how much I appreciate you being strong women in a role that is very, very difficult. And a lot of people here don't see how difficult it really is. All the research it takes that goes into each issue that you're having to vote on, the knowledge that you have to gain. And I just appreciate both of you. Well done.
Young man? No? Okay, well, thank you all for participating in that. I think it's pretty evident on the effect you both had. So best of luck, and I'm sure we'll see you soon. That brings us into the boring part of the meeting, which is the rest of it. So those on council may be aware, I can't go into this in too much detail, but I am now unfortunately, the chair of the board commission of the CTRAN. Former Mayor Costin passed away. So I know we had talked earlier about not spending any money. I am going to have to involve legal to some degree, but not to anything bank breaking at this point. But we'll have to come back in an executive session, probably with the new council, hash this out a little bit, but what I have asked our legal to do, as long as the council's okay, is file a notice of appearance. What this will do, if there's anything filed against the board composition committee, our law firm will be noticed. That's all that means. So nothing can go by through the fingers. So as long as that's okay, that's all I've bringing forward now to do that. So if everybody's okay with that, our firm will provide a point person for that and file that this week sometime. Additionally, Senate Bill 5820 dropped, and that is the FRDU bill. So one to follow, eliminating the FRDU overlay on the railroad. So yeah, that is going to be talked about this year. So I know Councilmember Davis was definitely involved in that as well. So wanted to just make you aware of that so you can track that. It's a short session, so it'll go fast. That brings us to our presentations. That's it for the mayor's report. Presentations. Who's introducing? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Robert Ferrier from the City Manager's Office. It is my pleasure this evening to introduce you to our newest Recreation and Event Center Coordinator, Heather Svensson. Did I say that right? Sweet. We asked Heather if she could share some information about her background and her interest, and so I've got that here. In terms of her professional experience, she has 20 years experience in the hospitality industry. Most recently, she served at the Waverly Country Club as the event manager in Portland, as well as the Hilton Vancouver, the Downtown Convention Center, as in sales and events management. Prior to that, she has 5 years experience working as a food cart owner / chef / founder / caterer before going into the event management business. And that's supplemented by many years working in the restaurant industry as well. She's married to her husband, Noah, and they have a 4-year-old daughter together named Juniper and 2 cats named
Petey and Oliver.
Petey and Oliver, the cats. Her education, she has a bachelor's in linguistics, communication sciences from Western Washington University in Bellingham. In terms of her hobbies and special skills, she enjoys textile crafts, including sewing, knitting, and embroidery. She enjoys outdoor recreation, hiking, camping, reading and writing, puzzles and games, traveling and cooking. We asked if there are any fun facts that she'd like to share. She is a PNW native from Yakima, also lived in Bellingham for 10 years, and then Portland in the Vancouver area. She's also a lifelong vegetarian, which I could never do, so more power to you. Any additional information she wanted to share? She loves event management, and she's very excited to be starting her first government job, and we're very excited to have you. And so if anything you want to share, and then we'll go and shake hands with council members.
I think that just about covered it. So fairly word for word. But yeah, my name is Heather, and I'm excited to be working at the Battleground Event Center, and really excited to learn more about the community and to get to know some of the events and happenings here. So pleasure to be here.
Happy to have you on board, Heather. I think it'll be great to have some of that small business experience, as we have a lot of clients come into the event center. You know how much it means to them. Are we fully staffed at the event center now? I shouldn't say that out loud, I suppose. That ends the presentations. Brings us to citizens communications. I have one signed up. I think she knows the rules, so I'll forego that. Jessica? And we'll get the 3 minutes up.
Hello, Council. My name's Jessica Cole, and I just wanted to say congratulations to Troy. I'm going to use your first names, to Troy and Jeannie for coming back for another 4 years, or you got that little stint in between too to be consecutive. And I just wanted to share that today is World AIDS Day. And in our Clark County community, we have two organizations that we have more, but two that I wanted to highlight that support folks with HIV and AIDS. And one is Cascade AIDS Project. And I don't want to butcher them. So I'm just going to say you should look into them. They have great supports for folks. And then another one is Martha's Pantry. And Martha's Pantry has been around since the 1980s. And it's also, both of them are in Vancouver. And so they're a pantry. They started off serving folks living with HIV and AIDS, but they do serve all folks, you know, in need. So you should check them both out, in my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Do we have anybody online or anybody else in the audience that would like to utilize their 3 minutes?
No one online, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, with that, I will close the citizen communication portion of the meeting. Brings us to consent agenda. Council, what's your pleasure?
Move to approve.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Bowman, second by DeRochers. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda passes. We have a public hearing on the comprehensive plan. Want to give us just a quick?
Good evening. Yes, I'd like to turn it over to our planning supervisor, Sam Crummett, to give you a quick summary before we open the public hearing.
Good evening, council and interested citizens. We're here at the point of a public hearing to entertain any testimony on the city's comprehensive plan. It's in draft form. It's been out for review for several weeks. There's been a lot of work put into this by the city's planning commission, as well as the advisory team that helped develop our climate action chapter, climate element. So hats off to the work on them. We won't be formally adopting the plan in terms of an ordinance, but ultimately staff would like to get a motion from you to move this plan forward as drafted with an amendment to include the parcels identified in the staff report. I believe the person, Mr. Marty Miller, is here that would like to testify during the public hearing portion. That change came a few weeks ago at the recommendation of our planning commission. Just sort of a note in terms of how we got to that point. There were several site-specific requests where people did want to include their parcels in. We couldn't justify the majority of those because essentially we've got capacity for our residential needs. And then I've already spoken about satisfying our needs for employment with the Dollars Corner expansion. However, driving out to this site, there's a half-street road that's already been built by a newer subdivision. Bringing these parcels in could carry out the full street improvement when those parcels develop. And I'll let Mr. Miller speak to more of the specifics on that. So that's all I have in terms of introduction, and you could open up the public hearing or address any questions to me now or after the public hearing.
I have two procedural questions for you. One, if we could have a map ready to pull that parcel up. And two, are you wanting a motion tonight or are you wanting a motion in the future?
I would like a motion which would be just a consensus motion to move this comprehensive plan as drafted forward in 2026. Once the county finalizes their process, we'll be coming back to council with a formal motion. So the motion wouldn't be binding. It would be more of just a general consensus. The council could change their mind in 2 or 3 months on any part of this until it gets to its final form.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. With that, I will now open the public hearing at 7:34 p.m. for public testimony. Individuals are limited to 3 minutes to provide testimony regarding the comprehensive plan update. Please direct your comments to the mayor. I have one person signed up and I hear another. So just approach the dais. You can stand or sit, whatever makes you more comfortable. Oh, yeah, and please state your name and address for the record. I don't know if
Absolutely. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Deputy Mayor, council members. Appreciate your time very kindly. You may have received a handout related to the site maps.
I'm sorry, sir. Could you please state your name and city of residence?
I'm sorry, I apologize. My name is Marty Miller. I used to be a member of the Battleground community here for about 30 years. Have property at 12818 Northeast 249th Street. Mr. Crummett is passing out a series of photographs, so I'll make this very brief. The first map that you have in there is a site map of the proposed area that was presented to the Planning Commission. The next few photos that you will see in there, as Mr. Crummett alluded to, are the half street improvements on Northwest 30th. This is also bordered by Northeast Dublin, and this is also bordered by Northwest 6th. Typically, I would say, if there was no infrastructure there, it would make total sense not to do anything. But in this case, when we take a look at the amount of infrastructure that already exists, the stubbed-in roads, the stubbed-in pathways, it makes sense at this stage of the game to actually go ahead and complete the process. You'll see another map or a picture in there of the Riverbend subdivision. We lived in this area for approximately 30 years. My family on my wife's side actually lived in this area for about 50 years. When I take a look at what Mel and Houston have done in this area, they've really created a first-class community. There are some additional pictures in there where you'll see a gentleman that has a business in there. He is running storage for dump trucks, RVs, buses, what have you. Under the county, that is his call, and I don't take any offense to that whatsoever. We talked about community here just a little bit ago. When I take a look at Wapiti, the way they have laid that out and what we're looking for long term, I think that is more embracive of what you folks, as far as the vision of looking towards community, and I applaud that. Ultimately, that decision will rest. When I take a look from the Sterling Ranch subdivision, looking out to where this business is located right now, the question is that something that embraces community? Ultimately, that will be your folks' decision. The reason I'm also speaking to you folks tonight is there's some additional photos in the very back there. And if you'll take a look, the first one in blue, that is the Sterling Ranch subdivision prior to development. The next photo right beyond that is the same blue photo, but it's in green. Those are lava flows in that site. The third photo in there, you can see the rock pile with one of Rachi's trucks in there. The reason that's relevant is coming through the Planning Commission, this was looked to be an R3 site. And it would be my suggestion to consider looking at this as an R5 site. If you continue into the final three areas, as far as pictures are concerned, that is the area that is north of Northwest 30th. And it is highlighted in there, the rock flows that we can see. In fact, you can see an old picture of my mother and father-in-law's house with the 62 Chevy sitting there. And you can see the rock piles in there. This will not be an easy site to develop, but working with City Council, working with the Planning Commission, what we would like to do is figure out a workable solution that works for everybody to be able to achieve, again, what they've been able to do over at Riverbend and Wapiti. And I see that I've expired my time, so I don't want to.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly. I appreciate your time.
Hi, my name's Jessica Cole. I'm from Battleground. And I just want to say I appreciated the open house last week or so on the comprehensive plan. The staff did an amazing job on it, and the consultants did a really great job, like explaining stuff. I know this is a very big project and all the different moving pieces between us and county and all that. And I just appreciate all the feedback sessions. This is one of them. And even though I feel like it's late in the stage in some ways, they still took the feedback from all the folks that were there. And I just want to highlight what we talked about last week, the people that showed up, business owners and residents, as having a place for our kids to live, when they grow up, and having jobs for folks that live here. And so the focus areas that I recall or are important to me are housing, the economic development, and the growth and annexation, which are, very hand in hand, and transportation. So all that to say, thank you to all the work that's been done and that's going to continue, and I support moving it forward.
Thank you, Jessica. Anybody else for comments regarding the comprehensive plan? And please state your name and city of residence.
Sorry, I didn't know I just to sign up. My name is Pearl Agard, 2511 Southwest 18th Street. This property is north of 199th Street and just west of the Firm Foundation School. There's a ditch that's about 100 years old that runs on my west side of my property. The county, before we went into the city, the county took care of that ditch and would come in. We've been on the property since '81. The county came in twice and redug the ditch out. And I was always told that it run to Mill Creek, although it does stop before it actually reaches the creek. I have complained several times about the maintenance. It used to be 9 feet deep. Now it's about 3 or 4 feet deep. Used to run 10, 12 horses out in the pasture all winter. I now have 400,000 ducks out there. I have pleaded for help. I think the ditch should be cleaned out. I understand why you're looking in a different area to take care of your serious problems, but please don't forget us. We've been here for a lot of years paying our taxes. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further members of the public wishing to speak? And anybody on Zoom?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, seeing no further members of the public wishing to speak, I'll now close the public hearing at 7:42 p.m. and open the floor. Council. Go ahead.
Sam, I was trying to pull it up to see what the acreage is there. If we look at this piece right now, I'm not OCD, but maybe a little bit. But why do we not just make Dublin Road the cutoff and grab that extra 20, 30 acres above this parcel 2 and bring it into the urban growth boundary? Why not just, is that going to affect us if we do that and just say, hey, we're going to just include this whole area so that it kind of squares that off?
That's a good question. And we've kind of looked at that as well. The short answer is we can't justify numerically expanding into this area for residential growth. We haven't really included this area as an alternative to study. If the council chose to do that, that could happen, but it could be pulled out, given we really haven't. Yeah, so the short answer is numerically, we really couldn't justify it, which was kind of the initial reason why I initially said no to Mr. Miller and his neighbors, those 3 parcels, is sort of at a whole, at a high level. We're looking at the entire city. I said we don't essentially need any more land for residential. However, it was really doing a site visit, looking at this investment of infrastructure that's already there, and actually being short on the residential land needed for the over 120% median income, sort of those larger, combination with our trail plan. That's where I said, I think we can bring a little more in. You know, none of this can necessarily be guaranteed until it's vetted through the county, and then the state will take a close look at it. But yeah, the short answer is absolutely, it'd be a logical place to grow. But just, yeah, in terms of the quantity of land we needed, we didn't recommend it.
We could do, you think that this one would be okay, though? This one would probably isn't going to create more problems for us and all the work that's already been put into this.
Yeah, I think this would be the safer route to go. If the council collectively said, let's just bring in everything within that Dublin corner area, I'd probably get together with Mark Herseg, our Public Works Director, say, let's put together a capital plan and see where it shakes out. You know, the worst that could happen is in a year, the state says this needs to go. But yeah, that's the reason we didn't recommend it, is we just can't justify it at that kind of the bottom line.
But we could take it as a out of cycle request 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
We can't do it as an out of cycle request. It would be 10 years before we'd look at that again.
Okay. I mean, this is just my personal, you know, I'm looking at just a map that shows the area that is developed to the west, which is going to be Northwest 6th in that area that goes clear up the side of that property. And it looks like it comes the property on Dublin, which is on the corner of where we're showing the urban growth on the northeast corner there. That property's already in. And so, you know, there isn't a lot to develop there. That one property just to the north that's fairly good size looks like it could be potentially developed into stuff. There's a massive home right on the corner that's not going to develop. But, you know, I think anything that we can pull in and kind of try and square that up would be better, at least, you know, for the future. But if it gets, hopefully it's not a thing where they throw out everything and say, well, no, that whole area, you know, if we've got,
right.
And that's what I don't want to jeopardize, is if we think that this will come in, then you do your thing. If we think we can get another, I know that parcel just to the north, according to Onyx, was like 8.1 acres more. But if that screws things up, you know, I'd leave that to you guys.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the practical looking at that as well. I think it potentially could jeopardize. The one note of caution is these areas that you're talking about weren't part of the EIS analysis. Marty Miller and these other 2 parcels, those were included in the site-specific analysis. So that was, the environmental review has been done on that. So that's the one note of caution I'd have.
Thank you.
Sam, quick question. Planning Commission recommendation was R3 or R5? Or did they get that detailed?
I don't remember if they gave that detail. I don't think they did. It would come in as low density residential, and I think it was open-ended whether it was R3 or R5. Mr. Miller's made a pretty strong recommendation for R5 based on the lava rock and the practicality of making that really kind of pencil out on their end.
Yeah, my only concern with that is I know we're really low on R3 and we need, I mean, if we're going to add residential, those bigger lot sizes and like they used to be that makes sense to me. I'm not a developer. I don't know what the economics are on it, but I would be favored of moving it forward with a bend towards R3, because that I think is the only housing component that we're under supplying in the city right now, I believe. Council, do you want to add?
I was just talking about when I looked up the parcels on the Clark County website, it showed them as R5. And she was trying to say that county might have it listed as something different. And then I was like, well, if it's the Clark County website, why wouldn't it say what it is and not?
The county zoning designations are very different than the city ones.
But why wouldn't it say on there
Be
what
rural.
it is?
Rural 5, yeah, it's probably rural 5.
Oh, it's rural 5, not an R5. Okay, okay.
But I have no issues with adding this parcel and figuring out R3 and R5 later, but I would not want to go any higher than R5. R3 for me is much preferred.
So do you need a motion to?
I think he just wants
Or
consensus to
just
move
something.
forward with.
Yeah, I think you could, I don't think you need to decide R5 or R3 this evening. I think just bringing it in as step one, we could, when we do come back for final adoption, that could be when you make that final decision.
Well, yeah, and I wasn't trying to work. I'm just saying for R3, for me, it's a no-brainer. R5, I'd have to think about longer.
Well, and this could be something that, I mean, we're just putting it into the urban growth boundary, and it could be 10 years before they develop it. We could have a completely different council here. Well, we will in 10 years. And you know, the developer's going to plead their case at that time. So I do think it's a good piece to bring into the urban growth boundary though.
Yeah, I support it since it's the owners of the properties who are wanting to come in anyways. It'd be a different story if they weren't the ones who are asking for the initiation of the properties to be in our growth and within our boundaries. So I agree.
I'm seeing consensus. Any comment, Mr. Councilmember Overholzer?
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I agree. And I'd just like to make a motion to move the draft plan forward as drafted and to include these parcels recommended by the Planning Commission as part of that.
Sure, we'll make a formal motion of it. Can I have a second then?
Second.
Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That brings us to ordinance 2025-18, the budget.
Good evening, council. This evening is our final budget hearing for our 2026 budget. Council has the opportunity to accept public comments on the budget, and then after the budget, either have a discussion, ask questions, modify the budget as presented, or adopt, with the note that we do need a budget adopted by December 31st. With that, I recommend opening the public hearing.
Just trying to find my clock here. Okay, with that, I will open the public hearing at 7:53 p.m. for public testimony. Individuals are limited to 3 minutes to provide testimony regarding ordinance 2025-18 fiscal year 2026 operating and capital improvement budget. Please direct your comments to the mayor. Please approach the dais, state your name and city residence, and we will give you your 3 minutes. And is there anybody online as well?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, okay. Seeing no members of the public wishing to speak, we will close this public hearing at 7:53 p.m. And could we have the title read, please?
Ordinance number 2025-18, an ordinance adopting the 2026 budget for the city of Battle Ground, Washington, and providing for effective date thereof.
Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt ordinance 2025-18, the fiscal year 2026 operating and capital improvement budget in its entirety is presented.
Second.
Council, any discussion? What?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to thank Megan. Your patience with all of us who are not number oriented like you, who has a love for numbers. If you did get irritated, you never let us know with all our many questions. And I just want to thank you again. Without somebody like you, our city wouldn't be as great as it is and fiscally responsible. So it's been a pleasure. And again, I appreciate your patience, especially with me. Well done. Thank you.
I'll just take the time to commend council. I think this is the most I've seen individual councilors dig into the budget, take an interested and productive view or part in it. It's great to see. It takes many voices to make this a good voice. So good job, everybody, for really taking the most important part of our job seriously. Well done. With that, do we need a roll call or can we do this voice? Let's do roll call.
Councilmember Kuipers, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Ferrer, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember DeRozier, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Davis, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Overholzer, how do you vote?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bowman, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor McCoy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, that brings us to the comprehensive stormwater master plan update. Mr. Hersick.
Good evening, council. I'm going to invite Emily Stevens up from Windsor Engineers, and she's going to give a presentation about the stormwater master plan.
Thank you. I'm going to share my screen for the presentation. A little slow. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I'm Emily Stevens with Windsor Engineers. Here to present on the comprehensive stormwater master plan. This is the second draft that you've received, my second time presenting. I think I was a little bit later last time in virtual. So it's the same presentation tonight, just going to kind of skim through some of it again. Wanted to bring it forward in case you had any questions or comments. The purpose of a comprehensive stormwater master plan is to assist the city with managing stormwater infrastructure and programs, support required permitting and NPDES Phase 2 permit compliance, incorporate and implement stormwater management plan items. One of the bigger items is providing a capital improvement plan that informs the budget and city's planning process for 20 years, and then establishing long-term stormwater goals. So again, I know we've gone over this before. The comprehensive plan is an extension, or the stormwater plan is an extension of the comprehension plan that was just discussed, following the same process of adoption and a very similar timeline. What the comprehensive stormwater master plan does is it kind of takes out the required stormwater section of a comprehensive plan and really boosts it, I guess, enhances it, and just kind of clearly outlines the plan that the city has for its stormwater management of its infrastructure and programs. So we are at the second council review public hearing, in case if there's any other questions or comments to address.
what's new from the original, well, not the original, but the last version, which was 2015. We have included long-term goals and actions that relate specifically to long-term goals. There's a new fish passage and protection section. And then this one also addresses some staffing needs and recommendations for managing the city's stormwater program. Additionally, newer from the last draft that you saw, we did incorporate a stormwater development charge update. So we worked with the city, or the city worked with a sub-consultant that went through the stormwater development charge assessment. And there's no recommendations really, or like changes happening now. And I'll let Mark speak to any questions on this, but one of the appendices included is this stormwater development charge update, since it hasn't been updated in a while. So that is something, if you have any questions or comments on, we'll take some questions at the end. I'm almost done here. But the rest of the appendices were also new from the last draft that you saw. This is the same CIP that we shared last time. Nothing has changed. This total CIP cost, it's over the 20-year term of the plan. So we just kind of combined everything, but it's really more of those costs are spread out over an annual basis. And with that, I will just open it up for any questions or comments. Thank you.
Could you bring the development charge slide back up? Is the recommendation to go up to the maximum?
So we're not making any recommendation right now. When the comp plan ultimately gets adopted, we'll also have sewer plan update, transportation plan update. Additionally, there's some new state laws that talk about scaling of impact fees. So we would like to do a holistic look at all of our impact fees and system development charges when we do that. All this is saying is that 1879 would be the max amount that we could justify. Planning Commission was very interested in looking at the fees too. When we go back over it, they recommended approval of the plan, but very much wanted to touch on that before that was dealt with. So again, sometime next year, I'll bring all of that back with all of the fees, so you can see the bigger picture versus a bunch of one-offs.
Yeah, and I realize now I probably made a mistake. Probably should have invited the Planning Commission to that Wolf Industries tour, because looking at our impact fees holistically and what that does to home affordability, it's a balance, right? You want to be able to pay for the infrastructure, but you don't want to burden. That balance is tough. So I appreciate the information on this. Council, any other questions before we open up the public hearing?
Thank you for all the work on this. I actually read it twice, and I'm not really nerdy about this stuff typically, but I just wanted to be clear that I understood some of the things. And if I understood in the recommendation section, it looked like there were about 41 recommendations in total, 4 that were more about how to pay for some of the improvements and how to maybe go about the implementation planning. And I thought it was great that you did kind of a risk analysis, but I'm just wondering if, and I don't have ideas on this, but I felt like maybe there is more prioritization that we could understand, and you probably automatically know that because you're in this all the time and you could probably name them off. But I would just like to understand that part better, and we could sure do that in a one-to-one session, Mark, if that's appropriate. But I just have more questions about that.
Okay, with that, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing. 8:03 p.m. for public testimony. Individuals limited 3 minutes. Provide testimony regarding the comprehensive stormwater master plan update. Please direct your comments to the mayor. Is there anybody wanting to speak on this? Anybody online?
No, Mr. Mayor.
With that, I'll close the public hearing at 8:04 p.m. I did want to make sure that we did get the young lady's name and address for the ditch. Okay. It's the first I've heard of that, so we'll have somebody contact. I don't know what the right answer is on that, but when stormwater comes up, it seems pertinent. We don't need, this will come back to us, so I think that ends. Thanks so much. I know that's a lot of work in there, so appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any administrative reports tonight?
Just one, Mayor. We're putting out some press releases on this, but I'm not sure if you noticed this weekend, we're getting a little festive for the holidays. All of the banners along West and East Main Street have been swapped out with the holiday banners. Our season greeting sign is up. And what I wanted to let you know is that we were approached by someone from our community, Luke Rogers, who's owner of Clean Choice Professional Services, is the prime sponsor of a very large effort that we will enjoy this Friday during the tree lighting. And he approached us and asked if he could light it up outside. And so this entails installing a beautiful light display at the event center, the building, the trees, the light poles. And we're really excited about what that's going to do for our event. This project was made possible thanks to contributions of several local businesses and individuals, such as Desiree Lawrence, who's realtor of John L. Scott, Leanne Dodge, State Farm Insurance Agent, Terry Hammock, Avilago Drywall, Impact Automotive, and Dev's Coffee Bar. They really did provide generous donations. We're really excited to see what it's going to look like, and we're waiting until the tree lighting event, which I want to give a reminder is this Friday at 5:30 p.m. at the event center. We just wanted to thank our sponsors because it was really generous on their part to provide what you're about to experience this Friday. So more details are on our website, and we will also put in our thanks to these donors on our website, press releases, and our social media channels. Other than that, that concludes my report.
Council Communications? Go ahead.
Yep.
Councilmember Droschers?
So I wasn't very clear earlier when I spoke, so sorry, I was nervous. I just want to thank staff and over the years that have helped me while I was on council. I just want to make sure I totally skipped over that because, I was worried about crying and all that. So thank you all for all that you've done for us and done for the city. Thank you.
Kuipers?
Oh, thank you, Mayor. We've had some discussions over the last few months about the intersection at Grace and Main, where we're going to have project work starting next year, but also with all the additional activity around Alan Ernie's and in that intersection, more concerns around public safety, traffic safety, and just wondering if we could get some updates from Mark and the staff on what the options might be for short-term fixes at that intersection, since we are a little ways out from having final resolution on the realignment of that whole area. I know you've done some work on it, but I was wondering if in January we could get maybe some recommendations from you, what the costs would be and what the timeline would be to get those recommendations implemented and how that aligns with the actual project work that we have planned for the intersection. So, anyone have any heartburn about that?
No, I'm seeing consensus here.
Okay.
We're gonna wait till January for that. Yeah. We have another event coming up, judging the Christmas lights. There is a mayor's choice. I'm happy to let our two outgoings make that choice. Grab some hot cocoa. You too? Can you arrange that? You can do it December. You can do it tomorrow. That's fine. I'll be in touch. If you'd like that, that'd be a nice, whoever would like to do that. It's fun. Drive around. I mean, they have a map. I'll go regardless, but let you have that. It's kind of fun. With that, since we passed the budget tonight, for those that aren't aware, that makes the next meeting in December not needed. So the next regular city council meeting will be held Monday, January 5th at 7 p.m. with a study session at 6 p.m. I believe, are we having pictures? 6 p.m. potentially? Check your email.
TBD, still working on it, trying to confirm.
Okay, hopefully we have pictures. So
Great.
anyway, with that, it is 8:10 and this meeting is adjourned.